Welcome back, Dafties. This is the Daft here with Last Oasis, not just any Last Oasis video. It is the beta test server video thing where they try out new stuff before they add it into the full-on game. And today what we're going to be looking at is, yes, this magnificent beast here, the Silure, I believe is how it's pronounced, S-I-L-U-R, Silure Walker. Now, I'll be covering the spider later, but just as a guess in size of this walker, here it is beside an armored spider. And we can walk up close. This thing is pretty freaking cool, and I made it the other day. Have not finished everything on it, but you'll be able to see some of the stats as we walk around it. It has some pros and it has some cons. And some of y'all are going to be upset with it. Some of y'all are going to think this is the coolest thing next to sliced bread. So let's look at some of the pros and cons to the Silure Walker. I have not got all the upgrades into it because I'm continually playing, continually trying to find new stuff and get ready for some how-to videos later on. One of the things they need to fix is there's this front hatch that's really freaking cool, right? Let me jump into third person. This front hatch is pretty cool. It rises up like a little lid. Except when you try to work your way into it, it is not a very convenient entrance there. So yeah, we're just gonna shut that hatch down. And we're going to run inside. Now, the only two things that this giant walker can store in its cargo is water. A ton of water. You will love it for its water. And, of course, torque. But no actual cargo, no equipment. These controls, unlike some of the other walkers, they come pre-installed, and this is going to be your view of the world as you try to move around in this walker, and there is no changing that. The end. Here's where you're at. I'm going to hit the minus button and keep hitting the minus button, and yes, we can violate everything that everybody else has told you about, that you're just stuck inside and you can't do whatever. I want to actually try this on the mollusk walker when we do a review of it, because that would be super cool if nobody realized you could just zoom out of the sucker. But this would be the walking view, except we don't have torque. And the main feature of this beast, this little roly-poly thing here, I have yet to even show you. But we can jump to that feature pretty quick. Let's run outside real quick and see why this thing is so indomitable, why it is not necessarily a PvP juggernaut, but it's definitely a necessity for all the PvE guys and the folks that are out there freaking on that grind. What's that? Pack base. Oh wait, when you build it, it comes with a base packed inside? No, it does not come with a base packed inside, but it does come with a framework for a base. And this framework, yes, ladies and gents, this framework is pre-made, and you can just start building crap on top of it. And your walker disassembles and turns in to a base. How awesome is that? I mean, you already saw some of those early health stats, those early health numbers pop across the top of the screen. And now you get to see that it turns into this treehouse thing that you can build on top of. That means Rupu throwers. That means whatever your favorite base building techniques, you can actually do it. And it is the walker at the exact same time. Let's get a better look. Boom. Oh, not boom. Fail. Come on. Don't be shy. I'm guessing that it has to wait till it completely spawns in before you can do anything. Up, there goes the walker itself despawning now that the base is completely built. I've been working on this base for off and on because I get distracted in this game quite a bit. I've been working on this base for just a little over a day. Not hardcoring it, getting distracted, going out and doing some different skills up and everything like that because I had to start from 0 on this beta server. But as you can see, I put down some stone foundations, and there is some framework that's already here, as you saw from underneath. To repack it, you just run to the middle. You can do that from the ground, you can do that from the top, and then you make whatever base type you want. I decided to do this while I just had a little simple crafting room going on, a couple of storage boxes, some basic crafting stuff, and I decided to do that while the video is going because, as you may or may not know, yeah, this is a PvP game, and most people do not like streamers. Well, they like streamers. They like to run and try to pawn them. So, yeah, I kept it pretty simple at the time being. You may get to see this built up later on the live streams on Facebook for DAFT Gaming. But for the time being, and there, right there, you can see part of the basic frames that you get to build out on. And then, as you can see, of course, a sandstorm comes in while we're doing the video. As you can see, there is the pack up method even from the ground, and this thing is freaking huge. Now, I had a friend, one of my friends that had been helping me in the this beta branch. They said that you could not get on top of it without a little help or a different thing. As you can see, I just zapped straight up there. I did put this here for it just to be easier to get on top. It is one of the quick mount devices that comes within the game. And we'll run over here real quick. So before you have all your structures and everything else on there, you might want to see, my friend said that it was hard to get up there. It is not hard to get up here. Keep that in mind as you're building things. The build mechanic is just a hair bit off and a little wonky. And I really firmly believe if you get a couple of pieces lined up, the other couple of pieces are going to be off around the board. Perhaps I should have started building from the middle and spiraled out. That is something that when it comes to official, I'm going to be a little bit more, obsessive about, is getting it even. But for just for the beta test, for the test server part of this, it's looking beautiful. It is looking great. Now, the more structures you put on this thing, keep in mind, it can hold a ton of water, and it can hold a ton of torque. But that's all the basic walker can hold. what you build and how you build it on the platform itself is going to be the tried and true method to your building madness. You hit pack, you see the walker, and just like everything else in the old pack system base that's still unofficial right this second, you know, the walker's going to assemble itself, but then you're going to have to wait for everything else to disassemble around the entire thing. Right now, it's disassembling all of my crafting stations, all of the floors I built. The more structures I have, obviously, the longer it takes. Now, this is not to tell you that this ship is going to be a big baddie. I believe it's a necessity for the solo. It's going to be the necessity for the small clan. You might end up wanting to build, you know, a couple of these to separate your stuff. I will eventually be doing a solo and a small clan video later. But as you can see, it takes a while to put one of these up. Maybe you want them for different reasons. Maybe for rating reasons, you want to create one of these not as a base, but as a way to put, you know, a bunch of Rupu slingers on there if that feature gets fixed, because unofficial right now it's not the greatest in the world. But that feature gets fixed, you may want to throw a whole bunch of Rupu slingers and some cheap structures on there and ride one of these into battle as basically a frontline defensive thing. I could think of that tactically. Right now I'm running small clan and solo with the DAFT crew. So we're not trying to do anything big offensive, and we're especially not trying to, because the test branch is just back up and running with these new things. They only run for new things and then they get wiped. So we'll see what the options are on this when we get back to official. But official is going to get wiped, so I'm going to be testing a whole bunch of stuff over here. As of the time making of this video, so don't think if you're watching this in the future that that's necessarily going to happen. Keep up with the patch notes and everything. Now the downside, the huge downside to this vehicle is it runs on torque. And so if you don't have any torque in it, yes, you can lobby it. So solo and small clans, once you build up a decent base on here, you can lobby it and pull it out at the edge all you dang want to. That's freaking great. But you're not going to be able to, like, I can't jump into this thing and move it right now. Oh wow, looks like we have visitors. I'm gonna guess, nope. Am I not getting raided? So anyway, these are the type of things that you have to keep in mind with this vehicle. I don't have any torque in here right this second, and specifically on this particular server, my boxes and everything's been kind of broke, so I haven't been able to really farm out to get the torque today. I wanted to do that before the video, but it wasn't in the cards. So what we will see later on is, I mean, does this become a viable thing, something that you can move on, etc. However, with the amount of DPS that this thing can take, and I'm just curious. Yeah, no, it went straight back to my previous view. I'm sure someone else is going to be curious too, but it went back to my previous view. Those guys are running off, but if they were coming to attack me and take all of the stuff that I have inside this walker, this beautiful, magnificent piece of armor that surrounds my base and everything that me and the DAFT clan as it exists currently inside of Last Oasis have been putting together, then they would have a hell of a time, because they have to break the walker before they can put out the base. And this walker's got 75,000, yes, 75,000 damage before they actually can deploy the base and get back in there. That means they need some very high-end in-game type of stuff from the main game that's not even available here in this beta test to break this thing. And then once they break it, then they gotta break all that stone stuff. So yeah, it becomes really, really super expensive for the other players who may want to attack you or try to steal your stuff. And that is absolutely phenomenal. And it is game changing for the solo and the small clan players. The PvE players and PvE clans, I mean, y'all are going to be able to clam up in this little roly-poly and call it a day and just, hey, good, there's somebody shooting stuff at us and you're just not going to do any damage. You don't have enough supplies to break this open. I'm sure somebody's just going to make a billion darts or a billion arrows to just prove that you can do it. But as expensive as that is, it's not going to be a common phase to do it. So this is the Silure Walker. Yes, on Last Oasis. My name is Daft, and we will be back with more Last Oasis material, whether it's unofficial or whether it's here. Please visit us at DAFT Gaming on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, smash that subscribe button to see as we go through and basically talk about a few different walkers over the next couple of weeks, because that's something I'd like to do. Just get my perspective on it, whether you like it, whether you hate it, what the heck ever. Until next time, as everybody knows, peace, love, and chicken grease. We will catch you later.